My name is Roselyn, but I go by Rose. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm a second year journalism major and a double minor in law and society and Spanish. So right now I am a content producer with KSBY News. So I basically go in every weekend into the TV station and I produce the 6 p.m. show. I am also, of course, a full-time student here at Cal Poly, and I am also the assistant news editor for Mustang News. That's always a very difficult question because there's always so many people whom I look up to, but I would say that the first person that comes to mind is my mom. She came to the United States when she was 16, so she was a high school junior, and she literally had to start all over because she was born and raised in La Union in the Philippines. So kind of, even though she doesn't really share her youth or childhood stories with me, I really take time to reflect on how hard that must have been to start over in a new culture and to go from one country to another. And she inspires me because, I mean, she's a full-time nurse and she works very long hours every week, and the only time I really get to see her is when she's sleeping during the day because she works night shifts. So her hard work and her just resilience from literally coming to another country is just what inspires me every day to keep on going. Wow. So here at Cal Poly, it's really like a culture shock, especially since I grew up in Southern California, where my hometown especially was very diverse racially and culturally. So coming here as a Filipina woman was just an absolute shock. I'm also the only Filipino woman in all of my journalism classes. I'm the only Filipino woman in my class in honors. So it can be a little isolating, and especially my first year here at Cal Poly, there were so many days during my first quarter here that I would just cry a lot because I felt like I didn't belong. Or that I didn't fit into the cultural norm here. So it was definitely challenging to adjust to the culture and the lifestyle and the lack of diversity here as a Filipina. So strong. Oh my gosh. Filipino women, even though, not just talking about my mom, but also my ninangs and my aunts and my cousins, and all of the, of course, Filipino women here at Cal Poly and just the American community here. It's really amazing to see how far we've come, yet we still have a lot of progress, yet we still remain so strong and so resilient and so hardworking. Like, I remember one time I was touring the San Francisco Chronicle, a newspaper in San Francisco, and I saw this Filipino woman. She was, I believe, the social media manager at San Francisco Chronicle, and she was telling me how, she's the only Filipina in her newsroom, and that really inspired me because at times it can feel like I'm alone in this, but here in this country, in this space, although we aren't the majority, we do make for a pretty mighty crowd. A lot of things. Of course, the food. Oh, love my kare-kare. But I think the main thing that comes to mind that I love about being Filipina is just how family-oriented we are, and how just we're taught, to respect our elders and to really take pride in our family and where we're from. So that kind of family pride and that sense of community I can take with me wherever, even here at the very, relatively small Filipino community here in Cal Poly. It's really nice to see people who are, who also had a similar upbringing from me and whose parents had similar traditional values. But, I think that just being Filipina here in America and being Filipina here in Cal Poly specifically, my favorite thing about it is just, having that opportunity to stand out and to use my voice as a minority to help uplift others and to hopefully inspire some people. Wow, that's a really, really hard question. I think one thing that, I don't know if it's a lot of Filipino families, but in mine especially, I was kind of taught to compare myself to other people in order to see how I should improve or better myself, whether it's academically or in leadership positions or just anything. So I was always taught to compare myself to other people. But if I were to tell my younger self a piece of advice, it would just be focus on yourself. Be happy for other people's successes, but also realize that that's their journey. You have your own journey as well. And that journey is unique and it should be celebrated. And yes, it's okay to want what other people have sometimes, but as long as you don't let it consume you in a negative light or in a negative way, and you really see yourself in a just a beautiful capacity, that you have your own idiosyncratic journey, that's really what you should be paying attention to, and that's really what should be dictating how you view your life and how you view yourself, because the successes of other people shouldn't define who you and your successes are. We got this. We got this. It's really tough being in a predominantly white institution and being Filipina. It's very hard to stand out in certain spaces and to take up space in, whether it's engineering or like the medical field or the legal field or any industry where we aren't the majority. It can be very hard to stand out, but we got this. We are strong. We can take from the fortitude that our ancestors or our parents, or if we're first generation, that our families believed us to have, and we can pull through. And we're beautiful despite all of the Western beauty standards as well. I feel like growing up I was so envious of Barbies and Sleeping Beauty because I didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. But I mean, not to say that that isn't beautiful, but I never saw myself as beautiful until I joined PCE, and I met so many other beautiful women who looked similar to me. So we got this, and we're beautiful. It's hard. Hopefully working for a major media company. I don't know. I don't have a preference as long as it's not Fox News. I want to be hopefully living here in the United States. California would be beautiful, but I would be totally fine if I were, a journalist in some other large state. And happy. I see myself being happy in 10 years. And even now.